Hi Yolon. Okay, so as promised, I'm finally doing this video for you. So as you know, I've bought a house and it comes with 8 acres of land. And today I'm going to show you around the land. I'm probably not going to be able to do all of it today, but we'll do about half, I would say. I'm going to take you around the bits that are closest to the house, and then maybe in the next video I'll do the back part of the land where there's a river and stuff. So we haven't unpacked yet. Well, not fully. We've still got lots and lots of unpacking to do. But yeah, the place is livable. It's a bit of a mess, but it is livable. The outside is a mess as well. So there are lots of overgrown areas. It was a little bit of a rude awakening, to be honest. When we came to see it, when we were doing the viewings before we bought it, we came about 3 or 4 times actually before the sale went through. And they had geese here and they had alpacas, and they all helped to keep everything low, like all the grass was short. Plus it was the winter when we came as well, so there wasn't that summer burst of growth to contend with. And obviously when we bought it, we were just into the beginning of June and everything had just blown up. The grass was really long. So you'll see when we go out there that I've spent quite a bit of time. Well, you won't see how much time I've spent, but I can tell you I've spent quite a bit of time just trying to cut the paths through the fields so that I can actually walk in them, because it's quite difficult to walk through very long grass, but also there's a lot of wildlife in there. So when I cut the grass, it takes me absolutely ages, because there are lots of frogs and slugs and beetles and all kinds of things that I have to be really careful of so that I don't with the lawnmower. So anyway, let's go. Okay, so this is the side of the house. So if I show you, that's the door that goes into the kitchen. Those are some pot plants that I brought that I didn't want to leave at the allotment, and to be honest, they've overstayed their welcome in the pots and they're not doing very well, but I lugged them over here anyway in the chance that I can revive them. Here's an IBC tank that I bought from my neighbour. I need to hook it up. So this is a small shed that we've got. Well, it's not a shed. I think it used to be a garage. I don't know how they got in and out of a car in there, to be honest, because it's barely wide enough. But anyway, that's what the guy who had the house before me told me it was a garage. That's an outdoor loo. That is the open barn, and that is a Dutch barn, so that's an enclosed covered barn. I don't know why it's called a Dutch barn, but that's what they called it. And then this is just a bit of garden. Beyond this little I don't know, little hedgy thing, there's like a very shallow pond that's been dug there. It's not a wildlife pond, it's more of a drainage pond. This is the greenhouse, so you can see this is nice and big now. It's full of rubbish and junk and stuff that they left behind. So you can see it's a right state. I need to sort it out. And then over here at the back, I'll show you. I sowed some asparagus seeds. So there's 3 different types. There's Purple Pacific, which is not really doing very well if you look at the other 2. If you look at how much bigger and healthier these are. And then that one, I think one's Millennium and one's Ginglim or Jinglim. I can't remember the name anyway. So let's go back out. So you can see it needs I don't know if you can see very well, but it needs a right good clean. It's really, really, really dirty. So this will be one of my jobs that I do pretty soon. And then if we go, before we go there actually, if I show you, if you went through there, that's a gate which is open. And on the other side of there, there's a much deeper pond that's beside the one I pointed out before. So I'm going to take you through the open barn. So again, this is full of junk and rubbish, so much stuff that they left behind. And this is a handy area because it's covered. In terms of, I mean, obviously the whole roof is covered, but it does leak. But that bit over there is covered. And this part over here has got a little roof that's covered as well. So this and that are going to be my log stores, because there are 2 wood burners in the house. I'm going to show you over here. So there is a lot of wood here, but it's small. It seems like that's the extent of it. There are a few big ones there, you can see. You know, so this would need cutting down. There's a whole heap of it. For all I know, there's just animal burrows under there. But yeah, this I'm not looking forward to sorting, but I will sort this at some point. And then this is the other side of the Dutch barn, the other door. But I can't really get to it because it's a bit overgrown. I need to cut that back. Now over there you see this thing here. I think that is full of wood as well. So I'm going to have to get to that. You can see it's surrounded by nettle. So I'm going to have to cut all this back. And then I want to move all of that in there so it's a bit more protected. Now, I'll give you a broad view. So there are 5 fields. This one's the first field. If we go that way, that's the second field. Just to give you an idea. But I'm going to walk you through this one. So you can see that I've cut paths. Actually, you probably can't see very well from this view. Let's go this way anyway. You can see that I've cut paths with the lawnmower. I'm going to speed it up until we get over here, because this bit, let me hold the camera higher, that's where that pond is that I pointed out. But you know, like I say again, it's not a wildlife pond, it's just a hole that's been dug in the ground, more of a drainage pond for the land. You can see there's another path I've cut this way, but I'm taking you this way because I want to show you this tree. This oak tree. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but I find this tree absolutely stunning. I come here and I stand here and I look at it, and you know the way the limbs are just all, the camera doesn't do it justice, it doesn't pick it up, but it's just so stunning. I love this tree. So I'm going to speed the footage up now while I walk around here. So you can see that the land isn't flat. It slopes this way, and then from that side it slopes that way into like a little valley. It's not a valley, but you know, it's a central sort of channel, I suppose you could say. And you can see, I don't know how well it picks up, but all of these along here, these are all reeds, you know, rushes. You can see all along here, all along here, all along there. And then I guess it drains off into the pond. Right, so just to orient you, that was where we started, the barn over there, and then we went round that way, came down here. Now, if we went straight down there, that little opening there, that takes us to the back fields. But I'm not going to take you down that way because I'm going to take you to the second field. Now, the second field is where the veg garden is going to be, and an orchard as well. I'd like to plant quite a lot of fruit trees and bushes. As I walk around, now that I've been able to cut paths in, it's been really interesting, let's say, seeing some of the wildlife. There are quite a lot of birds of prey, there are jays, there are obviously all the little garden birds, woodpeckers. I was walking in one of the backfields the other day and heard peck, 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 peck. And I thought, what is that? I moved further away from the tree and looked and watched until finally I saw it on one of the branches. Woodpecker pecking away. Right now, this is the second field. So we're in a lower part of it. If you go here, like if we stood where this little patch of weeds is right here, this would be probably the highest part of the field. But you can see if we went down this path all the way down to the bottom, that would take us, if we went just slightly that way, that would take us back to the open barn. And that gate that I kind of pointed out in the beginning. But I'm going to walk you around this way. Here's another huge patch of bracken. I really like black bracken, although apparently people don't like it because it doesn't, it can spread quite a lot. Well, I suppose that's not wrong. There's quite a lot of it, isn't there? And the roots are they go. Anyway, I'll stop waffling about that. I stopped here because I want to tell you. So I want to take this tree in the middle down here so that I can open this up. There's like a bank. I want to open it up so it goes into, I think that's the fourth field that it would go into. Because at the moment you can only get to the back fields via that path, the little tiny little bit that I showed you, well, that I pointed out. Right, so you can see I've done some more paths this way, and I mean here you can see how the land kind of, it comes up here. And then this path, if you went, it goes down and then it would come up again. So it's undulating, but it's fine because there's going to be fruit trees, fruit bushes and those sorts of things here. Ideally, just over here on this little high bit just here, I'd like to put some sort of round structure, building type thing for my women's circles and stuff like that. But we'll see how that goes. It's all about money, isn't it, really? Okay, so, God, look at these slugs. Look at them. There's millions of them. They're everywhere. Look at them. Look at them. God, there's so many of them. Anyway, right, I'm going to speed you up again while I walk down this path. So actually, I should probably show you. So this tree line here, along there, that there's a road, like a small country road lane beyond that. So that's the boundary. The boundary, the tree line on the other side in the other field, that was the boundary between me and my neighbour. They're very nice, quite lucky. And this, don't know if you can see this tree line here. So these are, I'm guessing, relatively young trees, because if you look at, I mean, it's probably not great comparison, but if you look at all of these trees, they are much, much taller than these, although you can't really pick that up on the camera because of the distance they are away. So I think the guy who had this place before me, he planted quite a few trees and then he fenced them off from the alpacas, which is a bit of a pain in the neck, to be honest, because I would really prefer if there wasn't all this internal fencing. God, you have to be so careful when you're walking because there are slugs everywhere. You don't want to squish them. I wouldn't mind if they were squished and had a clean death and I knew they were dead, but if they might be squished and then lying there suffering because they haven't been properly crushed. Oh, why am I talking to you about dead slugs? Anyway, so yeah, just showing you the trees. I love these younger trees. They're so much nicer than the big ones, which are planted in lines quite close together. They get long and straggly. So these trees, to be honest, ideally I would like to take them down so that from the house, A, they're not so close to the house in case they fall down, but also because the house is just behind there, you'd be able to see out to the land. So that's back where the open barn is, where we were standing towards the beginning. And then I'm going to take you this way to the veg garden, or what will be the veg garden. I have to be so careful, there are so many frogs and all kinds of little creatures. So, can you see this line of fencing here? Goes all the way along there, and then along there, and then down along the side of the polytunnel, and then over to here. Well, I don't know why he put this fencing in. It's just chicken wire. Maybe he did it for the geese, I don't know. He had geese. But anyway, I'm going to put beds in along going the width of this area. There's another drainage pond here. I'll show you from the other side actually. God, you know, it's really, really difficult to cut the paths because first you have to go in with the strim out quite high, just take the tops off. Then you maybe go a little bit lower the next day and then go over it with the lawnmower on the higher setting and then go lower and lower. So it takes quite a long time to do each path. So there's the pond, which I don't know how well you can see that, but that dark mass in the centre is water, and you can see it's very deep. It goes down like that and then comes up like that. So there's no sort of there's no gentle graduation that you would normally expect on a pond. It's just a hole. I wonder whether he did that because he wanted, you know, the ground is very boggy, so when you walk through that gate especially, your feet are really sinking in. And it was worse in the winter when we came to see the place. It was so soft that you were getting your wellies stuck in it. So I wonder if he tried to dig that to resolve that issue, but it doesn't seem to have helped. Anyway, so yeah, this would be part of the veg garden. I wonder how big this is compared to an allotment. I'll have to measure it for curiosity's sake. And then again, you see there's so much fencing and everything's fenced off, and I don't understand the reasons why he's done it. So this is a mess beside the polytunnel. And what worries me is that there's a whole line of reeds along here, so it's not like I can just go along with a strimmer or anything sharp. I'd be too nervous actually. And then this is a bit that I've tried to cover because I wanted to turn this bit into veg beds as well, although having said that, I'm kind of changing my mind because they've got this washing line here, and it is really handy having such a huge line. It's 4 posts, 1, 2, 3, 4, so you can put so much washing up. And then this is the polytunnel. I can't actually go in there because I haven't fully cut back this yet, but it's a right mess. Hang on, let me see if I can show you above the door. Can you see that at all? So I really need to change the polytunnel because I'm not keen on the way he set the beds out in there. But in another video I'll go in there and show you, because when we came to see it, when we were buying it, before we bought it, I was able to go in there. So this is the fenced off veg garden. So this is what he was actually using as a veg garden. So you see where all of these weeds are, and all down here. So this is one bed, that's the other bed, and then there's a central path. And I was trying to, so this bed, as a bed, this is far too deep for me. So I decided, rather than completely do it something different, I'll just work with what's here for the moment. So I'm just putting little paths in. So this is like a half bed because it's by the fence. I didn't want to do a full bed because I wouldn't be able to anyway. So yeah, I've cut the path, and then there'll be a 120 centimeters until the other path, and then another 120 centimeter bed, another path, all the way until we get to just the fence is over there. But I started that, and then actually it was just far too intimidating, because it's overwhelming, because you have to get through. There's so much grass and so many weeds, and oh my God, anyway. It's just that everywhere's so intimidating for now. And then, I don't know if you can see over there, they dug another drainage pond there. So that's the only pond that I've actually seen dry up. And then just beyond there, I wish he hadn't, but he has planted a whole bunch of trees going down to the boundary. And I don't really know why he's done that, because it just seems like a bit of a waste of space. Not a waste of space, I mean, he had so much space in the back fields. Why didn't he just plant them over there and use this for veg? But I guess looking at the size of the veg garden he had, maybe he didn't need or want a big veg garden. Anyway, this is the compost bay. I will be moving this because I really don't like it here. And then we go over a little bridge, because there's like a little gully or something. What do you call it? A ditch being dug all the way along here. So this bridge actually needs quite a lot of repair. And then this is the garden behind the house. So it's not the best day to show this to you, to be honest, because I've just taken down this quince shrub, as you can see. So this massive pile of stuff. This is my pile of cut stuff that's going to go through the shredder. You know that like wood chipper shredder thing that John gave me? And that's what I still have to do. It's a huge pile. So basically, I don't know if you can see over there, that's a laburnum tree, and then next to it there was this mass of whatever it was, and then I figured out it was a quince. I thought they were part of the same tree, because when he pointed to them and said, oh, that's a laburnum, I thought, oh, okay, that's huge. You know, like really sprawling. I've never seen a laburnum like that. I've always seen them in tree form. But then when this flowered, I discovered, oh, it's not a laburnum, it's a quince. So that tree is a laburnum, but it is actually rotting and it's leaning towards the house, so that needs to come down before it falls down and takes all the guttering and tiles and whatnot with it. But yeah, so I need to sort this out. So the garden's quite nice in the sense that you can't really see them because the grass has gone so long, but you've got a nice bed of flowers, and then another sort of, it goes all the way around across where this hedge line is, all the way to there. This is a nice little summer house. And then ideally, I would really like to open this up and be able to go straight to the back from here, so I don't have to go through that open barn every time I want to go to the back. But anyway, this brings us back to kind of where we were before. So I will make a video and show you the other fields maybe next week. I hope this is I haven't videoed for a while. Well, it's been a couple of years now, so I don't even know if my videoing skills are any good. And just now I'm looking at the lens and I can actually see dust on the lens, so who knows if that's appeared on the actual video. And just anyway, it'll get better. So yeah, I'll see you next week.